1 through 7. While you're turning there, let me thank God for your presence. And our guests who are worshiping with us, we are grateful to God for your presence. It does not go unnoticed. We say thank you so much for being in worship with us. I hadn't planned to preach from this passage, but as I got here and I thought about so many folk are going through so many things. Sister Karen has lost another brother. His services will be this Saturday at 10:30 at Robinson Funeral Home. And Brother Willie Short laid his baby sister to rest last Saturday. And also my family laid our little cousin Tashaka to rest last Saturday. And many others whose names I may not call. Those of us who suffer in loss that none of us know anything about. I can tell you today, God is able. Psalm 54, verses 1 through 7. Are we all there? It says, save me, O God, by thy name, and judge me by thy strength. Hear my prayer, O God. Give ear to the words of my mouth. For strangers are risen up against me, and oppressors seek after my soul. They have not set God before them, Salah. Behold, God is my helper. The Lord is with them that uphold my soul. He shall reward evil unto mine enemies. Cut them off in thy truth. I will freely sacrifice unto thee. I will praise thy name, O Lord, for it is good. For he hath delivered me out of all trouble, and mine eye hath seen his desire upon my enemies. God bless you. You may be seated. For a few moments, I want to talk again from the subject of God you can trust. Of God you can trust. This psalm today, Mount Hermon, is a prayer for protection. Amen. And the truth is, every one of us go through enough stuff on a daily basis to where we need the protection of the Almighty God. Am I by myself? Am I the only one who needs the Lord to watch over me and be a fence around me and protect me every day? This psalm, when we read the inscription, it is what they call a masculine psalm. It means to have insight or to be skillful. And I can tell you early on, Mount Hermon, that when you're fighting the devil, you're going to have to be skillful. You need to know just how to fight when you're fighting the devil. As a matter of fact, you just need to know who you need to fight for you. Let me rephrase that. The Lord said, you shall not need to fight. All you got to do is call on the name of Jesus. Call on the name of the Lord. He'll fight for you. That's the problem. That's why so many of us are losing. It's because we're doing the fighting. Amen. I dare you today to let the Lord fight for you. Amen. He said, if you hold your peace and let the Lord fight your battles, guess what? The victory shall be yours. Amen. Psalm 54 is one of many psalms that is born out of a situation so severe that only God was able to help. When you do the background on this psalm, David was being persecuted by Saul, and he had taken refuge with 600 men in a place called Keilah. But then he was warned by a friend named Abiathar who was the son of Ahimelech, that the men at Keilah were really not his friends. They were not to be trusted, although he was hanging out with them. And since he was told that they couldn't be trusted, he escaped into a place called the wilderness of Ziph. Z-I-P-H. You got to know when to let folk go, who is not good for you. Are y'all with me here? We holding on to too many folk that really does not have our best interest and heart. You see, the Ziphites, but now these Ziphites, they were related to David. They, like David, they were of the tribe of Judah. They were from the same place. And yet, even though they were from the same place, y'all, they betrayed David, informing Saul. They told his enemy exactly where he was hiding. You got to be careful of folk. I don't care. You can call them your ride or die if you want to. I don't care if y'all did grow up on the same street. Some of y'all came up in the same house. But I can tell you, they'll turn on you in an instant. Because they betrayed David and they told Saul exactly where he was hiding. Isn't that something? Let me tell you, young folks, some of the folk you're hanging with, that you got all your trust in, you've been with them all week, they mean you. Y'all ought to help me preach this thing. Y'all let me hear me. I'm telling you, I'm going to say that again. Young folks, some of the folk you're hanging with, you got all your trust in them. You even leave your wallet in their car. You leave your purse in their car. You can't trust them with all that.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
You've been with them all week, and yet they mean you no good.
Amen. Preach your Randle.
And you still think it's safe to run with them. Are y'all with me here? And the only reason they let you run with them is so that you can tell them your every move. Are y'all with me? You wonder why do I keep running into these roadblocks? Why do I keep running into situations and I can't get in? It's because the folk you're hanging with, that you're telling them what you're about to do, and they're calling ahead, sending a block.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
It's the folk you run with that may be the ones calling the police on you, telling that here he come with a carload of stuff.
Yes, Lord. Preach your Randle.
And you wonder why you keep getting blocked. But now let me hurry. Let me look at verse 3, but then I'm going to come back to verse 1 in a minute. It says, "For strangers are risen up against me, and oppressors seek after my soul. They have not set God before them." Salah. Listen, first of all, the greatness of David is seen in the fact that in whatever difficulty he found himself in, he always turned to God in prayer. That's a good note right there. Number one, I don't care what situation you find yourself in, I don't care how bad it is, you ought to always go to God. Where? In prayer.
Amen.
Listen, you can cry out and tell God why you need help. Notice I say you can tell God why you need help. David told God why he needed help. He says, "God, strangers are risen up against me, and oppressors seek after my soul." Strangers, when he calls them strangers, he means ruthless people who care nothing for God. Young people, you got to stop hanging with folk who care nothing for God. And before long, here you are, you've been coming to church. Now, since you're running with folk who care nothing for God, now you're talking about you of some other persuasion, some other religion. And now you don't need God anymore. You don't need Jesus anymore. Why? It's because you're hanging with the wrong crowd. You're running with folk who care nothing for God, and you don't realize they are attacking you. Why couldn't you be just as vocal and expressive when you were serving God and when you were serving Jesus as you are now that you're serving, I don't even want to call it mud God and other religions? You understand? Now you got their name written out on the back of your window. You're walking around. You're posting their name. Yeah, I'm so and so now. But what about when you were a child of God? Nobody even knew it. Y'all ain't got to say nothing. Some Christians who say you're Christians, you're running around in church every Sunday and nobody even knows that you're really a Christian.
Amen. Oh, yes, Lord.
Violent, powerful people. He was running with violent, powerful people who were oppressing him. But unlike the psalmist, his oppressors, as he said, have not set God before them. The one good thing you got going for you when you're trying to run with ruthless, no good folk is that you got God on your side. You ought to thank God today that you set God before you.
Amen. Yes, Lord.
Listen, frequently good men are hated for the sake of God. You know why folk don't like you? Because you got God. You call the name of the Lord. I mean, folk are hating you. I mean, and they try and set you up because they know. We know he a Christian. We know she a Christian, but we got to get her hooked. We gotta set this trap for him. Usually when you see a word stranger, it refers to foreigners or Gentiles, but here it speaks of, get this, strangers here speaks of David's relatives who had alienated or distanced themselves from him. Some of your family and friends set you up for failure. Didn't think you were going to make it. Look, the mic don't even want to work because the devil don't even want this to get out. And I refuse to give him the credit. Some of your family and friends set you up for failure and didn't think you were going to make it, but you made it. You ought to send him a text right now and say, hey, I'm still here.
That's all right.
Are y'all with me here? Yeah, every now and then I let folk know, yeah, I'm still here. I'm still around. Why? Because what you meant for evil, God meant it for good. And guess what? Because the Lord left me here, I'm still going to save your tale.
All right. Thank you, Lord.
Strangers. Those Ziphites who in order to gain favor with an evil king, they had to become evil themselves. Isn't that something? Let me tell you something. You must be evil to gain favor with evil people. Because see, some folks can look at you and say, they don't even fit. They don't even fit. They don't even belong with them. And that's what I'm telling you. You sometimes they'll look at you and know you don't belong with them. So what I'm saying, you have to become evil to hang and to run with evil people. It doesn't even fit.
Exactly. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
So when you find yourself in a tight spot, when you find yourself in a jam or you find yourself in trouble, you got to do what David did. You got to pray for God to take charge. Then you got to pray and ask God to protect you and vindicate you against your enemies. Why? Because you were running with them. And then you ought to thank God because God hears. Right there in verse 2, he says God hears. Not only does God hear, and I'm going to get back into my text in a minute, but not only does God hear, God also helps. Look at it in verse 4. He says, behold, God is my helper. The Lord is with them that uphold my soul. If you got anybody that's holding you up and trying to keep you up, I can guarantee you it's the Lord that's with them and you too. Amen. So God hears, verse 2. God helps in verse 4. And when the answer comes, you ought to be sure to take time to praise the Lord. That's verse 6. He said, I will freely sacrifice unto thee. I will praise thy name. When the Lord blesses you, when the Lord hears your prayer, when the Lord helps you and delivers you, and when you get the answer from the Lord, you ought to give God praise. You ought to take time. That's why I'm telling you, Mount Hermon, it shouldn't be so hard for you to praise the Lord. Why? Because not only do you know what you've gone through, I've watched some of you, and I know what you've gone through too, and I can understand how we can sit here.
Amen, amen, amen.
And not give God praise. King Saul, he sought David's life for a period of 12 years. He was after David, y'all, for 12 years. And David always stayed one step ahead of old crazy King Saul. Isn't that something? And you know, we be looking back at the folk who are running behind us. You ought to just thank God they're behind you. You ahead of them. What do? You need to just keep on praying. You need to say, like Paul said, I press toward the mark for the prize of a higher calling of God, which is in Christ Jesus. Stop looking backwards. You ought to, how is it that you can trip over something that's behind you? I'm not letting anybody behind me trip me up. Why? Because I'm pressing on. David always stayed one step ahead of King Saul. And you know, we like to complain about who's after us. They're always trying to get my job, but you're still employed.
Amen. Amen.
What that says is you don't know when you're winning.
Exactly.
Let them try whatever they want. You're winning. You're still employed. You won't get a check.
Amen.
But now notice the Ziphites turned on David, and David had not even bothered the Ziphites. And yet they turned against him. Why? To win favor with King Saul. Folk will turn on you just because they didn't like you in the first place, but they hung out with you so they could get something on you so they can go tell your enemy.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
The world does not love God's people. And even strangers will create problems for you while you're trying to serve the Lord. Isn't that something?
Amen.
David is hiding while his adversaries are flourishing. You ever look and you see, look like your adversary just keep on. Look like he just keep getting fatter and fatter. Look like he just keep doing good and keep getting stronger. And even though it seems that you're getting weaker, he still can't do nothing with you. Are y'all with me here? That's why when you look at that name Ziphite, it means men flourishing. All right? But just like David, we all encounter circumstances where we need God to do what only God can do. So when you need God's help, you can turn to Psalm 54 and you can find instructions about how to pray. Because when the situation is urgent and you need God's immediate help, this psalm is one of assured deliverance. Why? Because of God's divine help.
Amen.
Somebody here, if you weren't too ashamed, you could testify today. Yeah, I know it was nobody but the Lord. The reason why I'm still here.
Yes, Lord.
Maybe you don't want to put yourself out there like that, but you can also say, well, I know that it was nobody but the Lord who is the reason that my family member is still here. Yes. I should have got, amen would have went good right on there. But look at what he says in verse 1. He says, save me, O God. He needs help. And because he needs help, he goes to the best source of help. God himself. So there you go, Mount Hermon, when you need help, you need to get the best help available, and that's God. Because when someone lets you down, this should be your first reaction. What is that? You ought to pray.
Amen.
I'm going to say it again. When someone lets you down, your first reaction ought to be to pray, not to post, but to pray. Are you with me here? I know so much of everybody's business. Why? Because we're posting too much.
Amen.
No help is better than God's help. And let me tell y'all something. When you're posting that crazy stuff, folk are screenshotting it, sending it to all their friends.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. No help is better than God's help. So he pleads with God for help. He says, save me, O God. How? By thy name. Why? Because he trusts that the name of God is powerful enough to save him. Because with a name like God, you got that right. It has to be good. Notice he says, by thy, save me, O God. How? By thy name. You see, God's name is the only name that can be applied to every situation and you get some relief.
Amen. Yes, Lord.
Did you hear what I just said? God's name is the only name that can be applied to every situation and bring you relief.
Amen.
By thy name. Now here's the next thing. What you think concerning God helps to determine your character and your conduct. The fool ignores God. Many people nowadays are what is called practical atheists. That means they may claim to believe there is a God, but they believe as though he does not exist. Practical atheists. They claim there is a God, but they believe there is a God, but they live as though he does not exist. Are you guilty of being a practical atheist? Oh, I believe God, Rev. I believe God, Rev. But Rev is just, but my burden's so heavy, my problem's so heavy. Well, you got to believe, if you really believe God, if you turn it over to God, you ain't got no buts in the matter. See, people who are practically atheistic, they have not set God before them yet. They'll come to church. But let me tell you something. When you live this kind of way, God will have the last word. God will have the last word regardless. So, and the reason David can appeal to the name of God, the reason David can make a serious, urgent request to the name, because God has declared that it is his will to save those who put their trust in him. I'm going to say that again. The reason you and I who believe can pray to God and call on his name is because he will save those who put their trust in him. Yes, Lord. I'm almost done. In the Old Testament, God often made himself known to men by his name. They would call his name. He would tell them my name is Jehovah. Sometimes he used the name Elohim. Sometimes he said, my name is Adonai, the God of creation. He's the God of covenant. He's the God of control. Not only that, he is the maker. He is the mediator, and he is also our master. I'm going to say that again. He's our maker. He's our mediator, and he is also our master. You ought to thank God for a name like that. He has a name that covers everything we go through. Yes, Lord. Thank you, Lord. You see, a God who can create galaxies is not intimidated by a man like King Saul. Amen. A God who can make a world and keep it in existence. A God who can make the universe and keep it going every day and never hear any barons rubbing. You never hear anybody say, well, you know, we got to go fix Mercury or Venus or Mars because something wrong with Mars. We got to go oil up Mars. No. There's never been a recall on nothing God created but man. Y'all, you ain't got to say that. I'm doing better than you witnesses. Why? Because dogs are still barking. Cats are still meowing. Cows are still moving. But we, as men and women, some days or another, we act like we don't know what we are. That's all right. Amen. Be quiet, but it's all right. Yes, Lord. That's so true. God is not going to let no one down who trusts in him. That's right. Amen. And if God is with you, Mount Hermon, yes, I can tell you, Hermon, that everything will be all right. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, it will. I'm going to say it again. If God is with you, everything is going to be all right. Yeah. So David, knowing that he could not escape unless God intervened, he cried, Lord, help me. How? He said, notice he said again, by thy strength. Right there in the last part of verse 1, he said, Lord, help me, and help me by thy strength, or by thy military might. You see, God not only has the will to deliver his servant, the Lord has the power to deliver his servant. Are y'all with me here? Listen, I wish I could help
everybody, but I just don't have the power to be able to help everybody that's going through something.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
I'd like to. But can I recommend you to somebody who can help
Yes,
you?
Lord. Amen.
His name is Jesus. Not only does he want to help you, he can help you. And he will help you. And so by asking God to save him, he asked God to lift. He said, Lord, I need you to lift me up out of this tight spot. He says he was trapped. And he said, Lord, set me free so that I can be out in the open. I mean, you know, it ain't doing you no good to live if you got to live in hiding. It ain't doing you no good if you got to live if you're living on the run. So he says, David says, God, don't just save my life, but clear my name and drop all the charges in the process. Y'all missing the message? He said, I'm going to say it again. He said, Lord, set me free. But don't just save my life, but clear my name and drop all the charges in the process. Y'all with me here? Then notice in verse 2, he says, hear my prayer, O God. Give ear to the words of my mouth. You see, most of us have been driven to our knees at times by the pressure of our circumstances, knowing that we have nowhere else to go.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Y'all making this
Oh,
hard.
yes. So true.
I'm going to say it again. The reason some of us have prayed, what made most of us pray, was the pressure of our circumstances, knowing that we have nowhere else to go.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Since y'all can't say amen to the
Amen.
word,
Amen.
let's say, this blues writer used to sing a song that says, who can I turn to? Y'all know that one.
Thank you.
When all is going well, it's easy to forget about God.
Yes, Lord.
When everything is good in your life, it's easy to take God for granted. Just let something go wrong.
Oh, yes, Lord.
Just let something happen. And I don't wish no bad on nobody. I wish you could get those folks to realize that you need to be in worship and give God praise before something happens.
Yes, Lord. Amen.
I'm just going to say this as the pastor today. I hope it doesn't have to take a storm or a tornado to come into our neighborhood.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
To bring us back
Yes,
to
Lord.
church.
Amen.
I'm going to Minden yesterday, listening to the radio, and all of a sudden that warning came on and said there's a storm approaching Bienville Parish. I had just crossed the line that said Bienville Parish. I looked to my left and it was getting dark and I was looking bad, and I said, Daddy, what y'all want me to do? He said, I'm with you. Whatever you do, I'm going to do it too. He said, I'm going to be right here. Another warning came on, says a storm just hit Heflin in Webster Parish. And I kept driving. I never slowed down. And I kept wanting them to tell me, Doug, turn this thing around. Cal, I was driving by faith.
Amen.
I watched the cloud get darker. I watched raindrops fall. I watched Karen start talking. You must look bad, look pretty bad over there. Kept on going. Made it all the way to Minden with a few raindrops, and when we got there, the sun was shining. Oh, just knowing that there was a storm out on the horizon. Yeah. I prayed from Ringo to Minden.
Amen. It's all right.
When I got there and saw that everything was all right on the way back, I slept. Oh, listen, God will not be ignored. I'm telling you, don't let the threat of a storm cause you to go to God and pray. You ought to be thanking God while things are well. You ought to be thanking God while the sun is shining and while everything is all right. we can pray, we can always have help in trouble. And the truth is, y'all, sometimes prayer is all we can do.
Amen.
Because all other help is in vain
Yes, Lord.
if it's not of God, if it's not God.
That's right.
Did y'all hear what I just said? You see, prayer is our greatest means of help. So if it's all we can do, you've not been handicapped or you've not been disabled when it's time for you to pray.
Amen.
You know, we think, well, you know, this is my last resort. I guess I'll pray. No, you should have been praying all the time.
Yes, Lord.
You see, the greatness of David is seen in the fact that whatever difficulty he found himself in, he always turned to God in prayer. I'm almost through, y'all. I can tell you're bored, but I'm enjoying it.
No, sir.
Look, y'all, he found relief in prayer. He found help in prayer. Now, when you look at verse 2, you can find out what he wanted God to do with his prayer. He says, God, hear my prayer. That's what he wanted him to do. You see, he prayed. He said, God, I need an audience with you, and I need acceptance from you. Hear my prayer. Give ear to the words of my mouth, O God. But the main focus of his prayer was deliverance from dangers and salvation from his trouble. He said, Lord, I got problems. And when you got problems, you ought to go to God. When you say, Lord, I got problems. When you're in danger, Mount Hermon, you ought to go to God. When you can see a storm to your right when you're driving, you ought to go to God and pray. Yeah, I had a little talk with Jesus and got a few raindrops. I had the wipers on intermittent. I think they might have came on twice. Isn't that something? But the forecasters say there's a storm warning, and it's in the path of where you're headed. I'm done today, my Hermon, but listen. He says in verse 7, for he hath delivered me out of all trouble. My hath seen his desire upon my enemy. What David says is that his eyes look calmly on his enemies. Calmly. When he said, when you can look at your enemies and you're not afraid, that means that somebody has taken care of your enemies. You know, let me tell y'all something. When I knew I had to fight and Big Mark was behind me, I could look at my opponent and I really wasn't worried. Why? Because I knew Big Mark was there. You ain't got to be scared when you had a brother like Big Mark.
Oh, yes.
Big Mark didn't care. He even told me in church one Sunday, he said, God, all them that you want to get rid of, send them over there to the corner, and I'm going to tear them up with my guitar, and when I get through, you're going to have to buy me another guitar. That's the kind of brother I had. That's what I'm telling you. You don't have to be afraid, but now, I'm talking about, but listen, when you got God behind you, when you got God with you, you can look at your enemies calmly like, oh, you one of my enemies, huh?
Yes.
Are you with me here? He views his enemies without fear, without alarm. For he feels that the shield of God's power and the shield of God's love is cast over him to protect him. He said, my eyes have looked calmly and leisurely upon my defeated enemy.
Yes.
Now, Hermon, we may encounter all sorts of troubles because of our faith.
Yes, Jesus. Yes.
But the good news in Psalm 34:19 says that the Lord delivers us
Thank you, Lord.
out of them all.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord.
So here's the lesson. What is it that the good may not expect in this life? Here's what you cannot expect as you go through this life. Notice I said what you may not expect as you go through this life. You may not expect exemption from trouble.
Amen.
Don't expect to be spared trouble just because you're sitting in church on the 10th of March, 2019, and the Bible says, in this world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. Why? For I have overcome this world. So you cannot expect exemption from trouble. Second thing, what the good may expect in this life, you can't expect support and comfort in trouble, but we must seek the Lord in prayer just like David did. So that's what you can expect when you pray. You can expect support and comfort in trouble. Good day, Mount Hermon, but this journey has not been easy. As a matter of fact, we've experienced some difficult days. These past few years, I'll be honest with you, has been hell. And I said to myself, and I said to God, God, if I'm going to make it, if I'm going to make it, and if I'm going to keep on making it after all of this, it's going to have to be you and me. If you plan to make it from here on in, it's going to have to be you and God. Amen. You know, every now and then, I start feeling sad about what you deal with, what you have to go through. But then you hear that little song in your head that says something inside of me telling me, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, and then I just keep on and keep singing them songs. Then another song come up in my soul that said, I got a feeling. I wish I had some help in here. This is all I got now, Hermon. Everything is going to be all right. Whoa, I say, I got a feeling, y'all. Everything is going to be all right. That's why I don't worry about when I shed a tear because he said, you're white. All my tears are wet. That's the kind of God we serve. That's why I don't mind crying in front of y'all. I know you ain't going to bring me no tears. Matter of fact, I don't need one because he's going to wipe. What kind of helper is our God? We serve a God, number one, he's always near at hand. He's right there when you're going through. He said he's a very present help in trouble. What kind of God do we serve? We serve a God who is efficient and he is sufficient. Yeah, he'll make it, he can work it out for you. He can take nothing and make it work in your favor. What kind of God do we serve? We serve a God who is never ending and everlasting. He's a perpetual God. That's why I can go with God, because I know one of these days, as much as some of y'all love me, one of these days, time is going to run out for you. And the experience having to be left to make the journey.
Yes, Lord.
By myself.
That's all right. Yes, Lord. Thank you.
Even when I have to feel like I'm by myself,
that's all right.
I still got God.
Oh, yes, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
Sometimes,
thank you, Lord.
Riding by myself, folks look over there at me and say, what are you talking to yourself? Sometimes I want to ride the window down, tell them no. I just had a little talk to Jesus. I told him all about my troubles. He heard me at the stoplight. And before the light turned green, everything was all right. And the trouble might have still been there, but on the inside, I felt all right. How did I feel? That I felt like going on. That's why I'm here this morning, my Hermon. I'm telling you, y'all, we got a God we can trust. We'll learn how to talk with him.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
God bless you. God keep you. He's our prayer. We got a God. We got a God we can trust. I just thank God.
Thank you, Lord.
I know she'll make everything all right.
Yes, He will.
I feel like going on.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord.
I feel like going on.
Oh, yes, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
Those trials come.
Thank you, Jesus.
Oh, yeah. like that other than me? I feel, you ought to say it, come on. Going on. It's been rough, but I ain't gonna let it stop. I feel like going on. Don't try, y'all. Don't try, y'all. Come on, brothers, let me hear you. On every hand, I feel like going on. If you sing it one more time, you don't even know who you're ministering to. I feel like, come on, going on. Let's sing it. Yes, I do. I feel like going on. Don't try, y'all. Don't try, y'all. Seems like they're everywhere sometimes. I feel like going. One more time. I feel like going on. I feel like going on. I feel like going on. Don't try on every hand. I feel like you're